Look at this guy. How are you, sir?
Man, you good?
Pleasure to see you.
Easy.
They said that you didn't care, that you didn't like me anymore. You know what shit I got? Oh, all the haters,
Is that one of them new pronouns? Who's they? They said that what? What do they say?
Look at this man right here, a real star. Wow, what an aura you have. It's been a while since I've seen you in person.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I was like, I still want to do aerial, but I have to do it in person. I'm over this whole Zoom.
You're done with Zoom. That's what Tim told me. I wasn't sure if he was just trying to like deflect.
I mean,
he said, Izzy's done with Zoom.
You look at this fight camp. I didn't really do any MMA media, or not a lot. There's few reasons for that, but like I'm over Zoom. That's just so impersonal, and there's not a lot. Like the connection is not there. Like this in person,
Right.
Yeah.
Totally different. What were the reasons for not doing a lot of MMA media?
I've got my own network now on YouTube, Freestyle Bend.
Freestyle Bend, you're killing it. Who's that, David over there? That's not David. Where's David
that's
at?
Jeff, that's Ike. David, he's, where's he at?
David, man, he's a star now.
Yeah, he is. He's very, you know the funny thing? I never even knew he was a rapper. So he was part of this,
Wait, that's your brother?
Yeah.
You didn't know your brother was a rapper?
DBB.
Okay.
This rap group called Machete Clan, till their first single, like major single came out. And in New Zealand, Australasia, worldwide, some places, it kind of blew up. And I was like, wait, you rap? And I listened to it, and I was like, yo, he raps? And I've been telling him to do comedy for years. I think he'll do that later on, but he's just a naturally charismatic and funny dude, you know? Same like my other brother, Sammy, as well, who lives in Australia. He's here on this tour with us, but because he lives in Australia, I don't see him as often. But I brought him out just because I want to, you know, have my brothers with me. But yeah, we're just a family of unique individuals.
So it's just the three of you?
No, there's two more, my baby sisters, the second born and the baby of the family. So yeah, they do their own thing as well.
Are you tight?
Yeah.
All five?
Family.
Yeah?
Fuck yeah, we'll have to be.
Did your career make you guys even tighter?
Yes.
Because now you work with David, right?
Yeah, he works for me.
Okay, well, so my bad.
Don't get his head too big.
All right.
He's watching this right now.
Yeah.
But after I fought at UFC 230, I remember I took all my siblings to the Knicks versus the Nuggets, I believe, after the show at Madison Square Garden. I sat them down and I was like, look, because I felt like that was a fight that, after every fight I had, it was just like there was a new level, new devil. So I sat them all down in the suites and I was like, yo, you guys have to understand that things are gonna change, not just for me, but for you guys now. And even my baby sister was like, yeah, I keep getting all these random messages from people I haven't even talked to in years, from primary school and from high school. And I didn't even fuck with that person. So I was like, yeah, be careful of the trap. So I kind of had to school them on the trappings of fame, just because I know what it's like. And even there's certain people I've brought out with me who they fall into the same thing. They're like, man, I keep getting all these requests from randoms who I've never, talked to in years and I'm not even friends with anymore. And they're now trying to it's clout. Everyone wants some of that clout. Let me rub some of that. Yeah. So
I have to say though, I mean, the YouTube channel, even though I don't know if you consider us competition, not like it is so good. I big it up all the time.
Competition. I mean, you've been up for a while, but
it is so entertaining. Those videos of you watching the fights, who came up with that idea? Because it is just incredible. Like I look forward to it, and I'm upset when it's not up in a timely manner because it's just amazing.
Well, I mean, David, honestly, everyone's been telling me to get a YouTube for the longest time, but I just didn't have the energy all the time because I'm focused on one thing, that's fighting. But then David took the initiative a year ago, so this was February last year, to start up a YouTube channel for me. And then organically it just grew. And pretty much it's just me being myself and being filmed. And I've had old Jane Goodall over there filming me since 2015.
Damn.
Watching me, observing me. And, excuse me, when there's a camera on you, everyone has a different look. Everyone has a different persona. Well, it's reps. You get enough reps and you become more yourself on camera. So there's a way that I can kind of have a camera on me and still be myself. I don't have to have that. Because you see, everyone has it. When there's a camera on them, people either shut down or some people shine. And I know how to shine when I'm on camera. But now I just know how to shine if I want to, or I can just be myself. And he's just a big fly on the wall.
I threw out the idea that like Hooker or someone should have watched your fight and put it up on your channel to return the favor. Did anyone do that?
Who put it out? Oh, you put it out there? No, I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but
cool.
Yeah, they definitely support me. They watch and get their own thing. Even Kai's got his own YouTube now. One of my boxing teammates, Junior Fa, he's got his own YouTube. Dan's got his own. He's got an idea. I don't know if I can break the news, but yeah, I'll leave that to him. He's got an idea for a really cool concept of interview, and I was like, fuck, I wish I had thought of that. Yeah.
Dan doing the interviews.
Yeah, like his own show. But,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
That's his own
That's
thing.
his thing. That's his thing. Now, how's the media tour here in New York? Do you feel the love? Do you feel like, I was listening to you on ESPN radio and, much love, but it's like, do these guys understand who you are? Do you feel like they understand who you are in the sport?
Like Max Kellerman.
Yeah.
And, what's his,
Jay Williams?
Jay Williams, yes. They definitely did. They showed the love. But yeah, most people do, yeah. And if they don't, they have a job to do so.
Is it annoying when you're like, you didn't do your research?
No? I don't know, people sometimes, this is one of the things I hate. And I find it really funny when people will try and, not people that I work with, but like randoms to say, example, if I meet you, a random fan, and you're geeking out and your girlfriend is just like, what? The funniest one was one time there was 3 guys at a bar and 2 chicks. And I walk in and they freak out like, oh my God, rah, rah, rah. Like, and then I'm drunk having fun with them, and suddenly the attention's not on her anymore. So she's like, excuse me, who are you? I was like, no, I don't want a baby. And I'm just like talking to them. She's like, but who are you? I don't know who you are. And I'm like, I don't know who you are. I just like kept it going, but it's just like, because the attention wasn't on her. I'm never offended. I'm like, I don't expect you to know who I am. I'm just me. I forget who I am all the time. So yeah, I don't take offense to it. It's like, it is what it is. I'm just meeting them for the first time as well. I don't know who they are.
That's true. That is true. So congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Very impressive.
Yes.
Still a little bit confused as to, with all due respect to Rob, some very smart people say he won. Are you baffled by this?
When you say smart people, name names.
Okay, well, my boy Chael said he won.
Chael
said he won. Mm-hmm. I saw Gaethje on Twitter saying he won. Mm-hmm. I think I saw Chandler too saying he won. Now, these are fighters, right? Now, I know, let's be honest, sometimes fighters don't even know how to score fights.
I mean, look at the way their style of fighting. Chael,
but to me, honestly, the biggest debate I had was like, okay, he won the 5th, but like, was it 49-46 or 48-47? There was no doubt in my mind that you won that fight.
I know I won the fight.
Are you blown away?
I'm not blown away. I mean, I've said that he and Vittoria sipping the same wine that Costa was sipping. The fact that they thought, because I've not watched the fight yet.
Okay.
I will watch the fight soon. But normally when it's a performance like I expected, I watch it almost straight away just to kind of like think. But I'm kind of like, man, I did well early on, and then later on I wasn't able to find what I was looking for, and I wished I trusted my instinct more, because the first fight, I trusted my instinct, and I just went with the flow, and I called an audible. We stepped away from the game plan. But this time I was like, because after the first round, I wish I just asked Eugene what dropped him. I normally do, but for me, I didn't want to focus on the past and then try and look for that shot again. So I was just like, nah, don't ask. And if I had known it was a southpaw straight left, because in the middle of the fight, when I was southpaw, I felt so good. And I was like, I'm not a southpaw like Romero or Gastelum, like he's fought. It's different. I come at people different when I'm southpaw, different looks. So I wish I'd asked and also just trusted my instincts to stay southpaw a little bit more. But yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm not going to try and change their opinion, but from what I've heard, his corner was telling him in the corner, like, you're losing this fight. You need to step up.
Yep.
They were?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to think you won when your corner's telling you you're losing the fight? But when I watch the fight, I will give you an honest critique on my Freestyle Bender YouTube channel.
That's right.
I'll give you an honest critique of how I thought I did, but I know I won that fight. There's no doubt in my mind. If they had raised his hand, I would be flabbergasted, like, what the fuck? Because when you fight each other, you know, like, he won or I won. You just know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I knew I won that fight.
You said 7 out of 10 afterwards. You still feel that way?
I have to watch the fight, but right now, yes, 7 out of 10, just because of the way I felt. And then in hindsight, now I've only seen highlights on Instagram, like little bits, but I'm like, fuck, I wish I really trusted my instinct and just stayed southpaw, because I was doing work southpaw, man. I was on, and the shots I was looking for weren't really there on the orthodox side. And the thing that look, I'm starting to fall into this, not a trap, this issue. Like, I realized that Silva had as well. UFC 97, he fought Talis Latis.
Montreal.
And he, beat him up, pieced him up, but people were like, oh, it was a boring fight. I'm like, no, it wasn't. Yeah, Talis didn't really do much later on because he was too scared to engage. Later on, we thought Rob was going to press the action because you're down. His corner is saying he's down, but he was just moving away. There was one point he was drifting and trying to set me up for a trap, and I was like, that's my move. And I went back to the center, and he then came to the center, and then we kept on fighting. But yeah, I'm starting to fall into that trap. Same thing with UFC 112 Abu Dhabi. Mm-hmm. with Damian Maya, and people are just like, oh, he's this, he's that, and they forget. They completely forget, and it's just recency bias. But I had fun. That's one thing I'm glad. I had fun. I was present from the first round to the last bell. My last fight before that, I got bored because I was just like, this guy's not a threat to me. He doesn't pose any threat. Even when
Bored mid-fight.
Yeah. I remember, Twist, the big guy in my corner was just like, don't get bored, Izzy. I don't know if the UFC can find that clip, because, they have a camera.
Yeah.
We were like, I was around the third or fourth round. He said, don't get bored, Izzy. Focus, systematic. And I was just like, you're right. Because I don't know what he saw, but he just saw I kind of had like lapse in judgment. But this fight, I could not afford to get bored. I could not afford to have that because Rob will crack you. And there was a point, he cracked me later on. And then I never got wobbled or hurt or anything. And I was like, that was a good one. He's been trying to catch me on the exit the whole time whenever we clinched, and he finally caught me. I was like, good one. But then the best adjustment I can say he made was his triple jab, from his double jab to his triple jab. I was like, that was a good adjustment, but he still couldn't land that right, still couldn't land that head kick. Landed a few takedowns, but I was never in any danger. Even when he was on my back, I was gonna walk to his corner. I looked, I was like, where's my corner? Okay. And I was like a hunchback, just like, haha. And I don't remember if I poked my tongue at Eugene, because this is the shit we've been drilling. We've drilled this back escape stuff like since last year, like 9 a.m. So I was just like, I think I did. And then I just got him off me, and then that was it. Went back to work.
It is a little bit like what Valentina Shevchenko goes through now. Like when Jennifer Maia won one round against her, everyone was losing their mind, right?
Exactly.
So I feel like that's what you're talking about.
As well. Yeah, I've had that in kickboxing. There was a guy I fought, shout out to Jamie Eads. I fought him like 4 times. And the last time I fought him was in the heavyweight King in the Ring final. And the first round, granted, one of my friend's closest training partners just passed away the week before. So I was like, not really feeling it. And then the first round, he landed a few leg kicks and maybe touched my face once. And then I remember hearing in his corner, like, you won that round, Jamie, you won that round, da, 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 da. I don't know if he was trying to convince the judges or what, or convince himself or convince Jamie, but I was just like, the fuck? Like, I was like, what? Okay, bet, let me turn this up. So I did. But yeah, it's the same thing, because he just landed like 2 leg kicks and touched my face once. So it's like, oh my God. But I'm human. Look, I'm human. I've never I just do some superhuman shit, but I'm human and I know my flaws. But yeah, I know I won that fight.
That picture that you posted late Friday, early Saturday of you on the scale, UFC 192.
Yeah.
What a crazy story. So what's the backstory there? Why were you there?
I was there to watch Dan Hooker do work.
Okay.
And I remember being part of the entourage. I was in the workout room with the fighters. I remember training alongside Khabib, DC, the AKA team, Luke Rockhold. I don't know if DC was there. I was hitting pads with them. And then in my head, I was kind of like, if only they knew. I have the clip somewhere. I'll put it on my Instagram story. But in my head, I was kind of like, this is where I belong. I just knew. And then after the weigh-in, I remember meeting Joe Rogan there for the first time, met Ian Edwards. Who else? Met a few people. And then when everyone cleared out, I just jumped on the scale secretly, and I just pictured my moment. And then I got yelled at by security, like, get the fuck off stage. I was like, ooh, sorry. So then when I stepped up, for me, it just felt like I've done this before. Because, it's just amazing that it was in the same arena.
Crazy.
Full circle.
That's amazing. Was that your first UFC event that you were at?
Backstage, I would believe so, yes. I was involved with the stuff backstage and getting that kind of access. I think so, yes.
Were you in his corner for that fight?
No. I was I was in the stands. I remember I was in the stands in that fight, yelling and freaking out. Yeah.
That's wild, right? I mean, that wasn't that long ago. UFC 192 was not that long ago, and now you're
2015.
Yeah, and you're selling out the building less than 7 years later, 6.5 years later.
There's a few moments like that I've had in my career. Same thing, nosebleeds to nosebleed.
Right.
I've had a few other personal ones, and I'm just like, even that's where I first met Sean Shelby and Joe Silva, and it was at the mall, and I was like, can I grab a picture with you guys? They didn't know I realized them. I recognized them, and then I can't remember what the caption was. I'll find that as well and post it on my stories.
Wow. At that same event?
Yeah.
Damn.
I saw them in the mall.
That is so funny. You must have been towering over them.
Yeah, I was.
That's right. The other one that was great was, man, I was so jealous of that French toast from The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you put the fork in it, it just
drops. Honestly, I didn't even have to use a knife. It was so good. That was just honestly, when I go, it's brick French toast.
So tell me, how does he get it to you?
His chef got it to me. He just tells her or him what to do, and then they organize it. But yeah, he's such a cool dude. I love that.
You guys are boys.
I like to say we're cool internet friends, but I
Okay.
respect that guy. I love him. I've since the Attitude Era. This is already well known. Even post fight when I was talking to Booker T, those guys. I watched them and watched the way they owned the stage, and it influences you. So definitely, my presence has been influenced from watching years of the Attitude Era WWE. Yeah.
Did you ever consider going down that route?
Yeah, 100%. I thought I was going to be a wrestler at one point.
Really?
Yeah, still might. You never know.
Come on.
Yeah, why
How
not?
close were you to like actually, like, did you check out schools?
Nah, not that close.
Not that
It was
close,
just
okay.
like childhood dreams, jumping off the branch of my bed onto my brother. Me and David and Sammy wrestling, my sisters as well. Yeah, doing Stone Cold Stunners, all that.
Were you more into that than you were into actual fighting?
Yeah, that was like it was still real to me.
Yes.
Damn it, it was still real to me. Even my sister, she kind of go put on first that it was fake, and I used to just like fight her, like, no, look at the blood, can't you see? She'd be like, no, this and that. I'm like, no, and I was just like, la 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 la. I had my head in the clouds with that till I kind of had to like swallow the hard pill and just be like, damn, the fixes are in.
The reaction to Booker being in the media room was just tremendous because it was like pure, authentic. Like you did not know he was there, right?
I was like, because I sat there and I could see everything. So I was like, that guy looks, and I didn't say anything.
Right.
And then as I was talking to that guy, I was just like, wait a minute, is that Booker T?
It was amazing.
I was like, oh shit. Like, yeah. When Cain Velasquez was fighting Brock Lesnar, I remember when Brock got dropped and did that spin. This is the thing, this is before cameras were around watching my reactions. I actually did a whole Spirit of Rooney, like just hyping myself, like the fight. Like it was crazy because, that was a 1-round fight and
Yeah.
Cain Velasquez and Brock Lesnar were just going at it. And then Cain hit him with that knee or something and then he like did a spin like, whoa. And I did a Spin of Rooney in the middle of the living room just hyping myself up. So even when people were like, he's putting this on because, it's like I'm acting or whatever. I'm like, bro, you don't realize who I am. Those who know me know my reactions to fights. I get crazy. Almost like the Iceman. I see him in the stands when he watches fights.
Yeah,
The Iceman just like, whoa. But I get involved, especially if it's someone I care about. I get involved. But when it's hype, I get hype. I'm about to hype.
The entrance this time, what was the story behind it?
For me, it was just an activation for me, just to activate myself into that mode. That's why I was so present in that fight from bell to bell. And I said I didn't lose focus. I didn't get bored. So I shared a clip from September 6th last year when I was in quarantine. There was I like to say excuse me, like clockwork.
Matzo ball, do you have any here in New York?
Not yet, but I will.
Got to go to Katz's.
Katz's.
Katz's is the one that I went with Rampage back in the day. Number
I
one.
remember watching that, yeah.
Got to go to Katz's,
Your boy,
man.
all right.
And get pastrami sandwich too.
Of course, I have to.
Yeah.
We need pastrami, man. We had that last time too.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
You took the video of yourself September in the bathroom.
Oh yeah. So I had the shower is the most honest place in the world, I feel. You're naked, normally by yourself, and you're with your own thoughts.
Normally
and I
by
feel
yourself.
like
I like you
normally.
say normally.
Sometimes it's 4.
Right.
I kid. But you can kind of just create in that zone. I feel like like Neo in the white space of the Matrix, and you just get to create. And a lot of people do. They live their truth in there. Some people sing, dance, talk to themselves, and I feel like you can kind of create in there. But then I had Buju Banton, Where You Come From, playing, and it was on repeat, and I just kept it on repeat, and I just somehow put myself in the fight, and then I just got activated, and I was just like, when I finished showering, I put my gloves on and my shorts on, and my walk-in wardrobe is like a tunnel, and I kind of just like drilled that maybe 6 times or so, just like the walkout, and then I was just on. So then that track was instrumental in this camp. Like whenever it came on, it would just like dial me in, activate me. So yeah, when it was time to go, before the fight, I was there early on, I clocked in early, and I did my walkout. And when I went out there, it just felt like natural. It was just like, we've been here before. I'm not shell-shocked or anything like that. I never really do anyway, but I was just able to just step into space and just boom.
I've been in the arena when they do those like rehearsals for the walkouts. The fighter involved is not usually the guy. Like the dude you squared off against, the big guy, Derek.
Yeah.
He posted about it afterwards. I was like, man, it's so crazy. Like I've seen them do it. The guy with the vest. I've seen the whole thing. But they must have loved that.
Yeah, I requested it because I just wanted to get familiar with the space. I want to get familiar with the feeling. And then once I did that, then because my imagination is second to none. I can go anywhere, like anywhere, anything. I can do anything in my brain. This is one thing I always love is freedom of thought. And this is why this whole thing with the landscape of, cancel culture or saying what you think and stuff, it pisses me off because it's almost like someone's trying to implement their way of thinking on you. And I'm like, no, like everyone is allowed to have the freedom of thought as long as you don't hurt or, make people feel a certain type of way. But my imagination is crazy and I can just like visualize everything. I can hear everything as I'm doing the walkout through the passage. I can see the fans, putting their arms out, security, pushing them away. And I feel everything. It becomes so real. So when I stepped in that cage and I did all that, I was like, I remember this. I've been here before. I was doing this in June. So it just reminds me. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Because at the weigh-in, you're not allowed in the cage. So I was like, I want to get in there first and just kind of feel the canvas on the sole of your feet, how grippy it is. And I feel like it's instrumental to my game.
One more thing about the fight, and I actually want to read this because my colleague Jose wrote. You got to go. Are you stressed for time?
Nothing.
Okay.
It just catches light sometimes, so I get
I
distracted.
mean it's blinding me. He asked me to ask you this question, and so I'm asking on his behalf. I have no idea what I'm reading here, just for the record.
No worries.
He really wants me to ask you this question. Jose Youngs, he works for MMA Fighting. He was at the fight.
All right.
He said, when you were kneeling over during Bruce Buffer's intro, I noticed you were chewing on your thumb and then slammed your hand to the ground. Was that you pulling off a summoning jutsu from Naruto? No idea what I just said.
Yeah.
Or was it a nod to L from Death Note?
L from Death Note, because the last time I fought Whitaker, the character I tapped into was the Shinigami, Ryuk, and also the what's his name, Light Yagami, the I guess, was he a protagonist or antagonist? Yeah, the antagonist. And Rob is the Reaper, so he's supposed to be the god of death. So I was like, I know the real god of death, Shinigami called Ryuk. So I tapped into that, and that had some grave consequences later on that we won't go into.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I do these things with intent. I do these things like, there's the world, there's some juju and all that kind of stuff involved, but I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
Ancestral, spiritual stuff.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but anyway.
Wait, did you get in trouble?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. But this time, I knew he was going to come out different. I knew he was not going to come out crazy like he did last time, so I had to outwit him, outsmart him. And L, if you've watched Death Note, is just like a very cerebral player. So that was who I was channeling when I was just in that zone. And this is just me playing around, man. I'm a big kid, so I just like to, it takes away the seriousness of everything. It just makes me feel like I'm just playing a game. It's a dangerous game, but I like to play a game.
You did rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, yeah.
Although I saw some people saying you didn't do it correctly because you didn't do the shoot. You did rock, paper, and then you went straight for the paper. You do rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I don't know.
That's their opinion.
Yeah, that's their opinion. How do you think of doing that in that moment? Who thinks of that in that moment?
I don't know. It's fun. Like, it's kind of like if...
Did you think of that on the spot?
Kind of, yeah. I thought about that on the spot. Even on the walkout, I think when I did the rehearsal with, what's his name? I thought I was going to do it, but I don't remember if I did it. But on the spot, I was just like, boom. And yeah, it was just fun. It's like if you're dreaming, am I dreaming? You pinch yourself, or like you're lucid dreaming. Sometimes it's when you're in that zone, it feels like you're lucid dreaming.
Right.
So just to take away the seriousness of everything, I like to do little things to make myself feel, I don't know, it's like little inside jokes with myself. Yeah.
So now that the fight is out of the way, let's get into the good stuff here.
Ooh, the good stuff.
When this fight was first announced, you tweeted out a cap to the UFC. What was that about?
I commented on...
You replied to their tweet of the announcement.
No, they were on the Instagram post when they announced it. Because when I asked the next day, I was like, did you guys see the announcement for my fight? They're like, what announcement? I was like, exactly. Because it was just a banner, a ticket banner, just like rolling somewhere. And I was like, that's not how you make an announcement of a fight of this magnitude. You don't just like, that's it with all the other fights. I'm like, no, this is a big rematch. This is part of how you and this is not, I'm not saying the UFC did this or the UFC brass, but some people dropped the ball. And maybe, I don't know who, but someone dropped the ball. We're still negotiating at the time as well. So I don't know if it was like a ploy or whatever, because I try not to get personal in this. I was like, are they trying to undervalue what I'm doing? I'm like, no, I know who I am. I know what this fight means. Like, this is how you do. You have a trailer. Me knocking out Rob. Celebrating him looking down. And then somewhere, I'm not going anywhere. Boom. He breaks Jack Cannonier's arm, drops Kelvin Gastelum, Darren Till, and then show me, doing the work I've done as well. And then, boom, Toyota Center, Houston, Texas, and then fade to black. And then you go to John Anik, Joe Rogan, and DC riff about the fight for a minute and a half. That's how you make an announcement. So,
Right.
this fight is happening, not just some ticking banner. And also, I hadn't signed for the fight at the time. So I was like, it's cap. It's not true. It's cap. And I was right. It wasn't official. We've agreed verbally, but there was no written contract. So I was just kind of like peeved at the fact that they just undervalued the magnitude of that fight. I'm like, and this is my ego maybe not in the way, but like speaking, but it's a healthy ego. And I felt like I had a right to be not happy about the way that fight was announced or the location was announced. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? Fucking make it big, damn it. So that's why I tweeted that cap. And gotcha journalism. I think someone asked Dana what he thought about it, and Dana didn't really understand the concept of what cap meant. And then someone was just you know how they had gotcha journalism. They poked the bear, and then he got angry. And I was just like, you can't let that get to you. You have to be able to be objective and just be like I said, don't take things personal. And we don't. I even like the fact that after the weigh-ins, Dana called me over and sat me down, and we watched the show opener together. And I was like, that's how you do it. Because the show opener was fucking phenomenal. And I was like, who made this? He's like, we did. And I'm like, yes, this is how you do it. This is what I was expecting. That show opener is granted longer, but man, I can make a cool trailer on my phone just off YouTube clips myself because I've got that kind of skill, with After Effects or whatever. So, that's what that was about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you signed the deal literally days before the fight.
Yeah.
Was there any part of you that wanted to test free agency?
No.
You didn't want to go to the end?
For me, I like the UFC. I've always loved. This is like this has been my dream. So I'm here now, and I know what the potential is. Kind of like how Dana believed in the UFC, when no one else believed in the UFC. I'm in a spot where I really believe the UFC can step up. I really believe, and I think it's just like Francis has kicked it off. I'm speaking out about it. I feel like it's time. It's rising tides lifts all the ships. I'm in a good position, so I can just be like, right, thanks for the cheese. But I just feel like, guys who are starting out in the UFC shouldn't have to have a second or third job, like them being a fighter. Shouldn't have to, worry how they're going to pay their manager or pay for their training. You should be able to train 8 to 12 weeks uninterrupted, have your family looked after, and still be able to, fight. Because guess what? Their training is going to make them a better fighter. And you're going to get better quality fights. And then when that happens, trust me, rising tides, it's little details. It's going to make everyone better. So we all make mistakes. Human error is a thing. And, like Tim was saying earlier, egos have gotten involved in the past with some of these other deals or whatnot that it's not my business to speak on. But yeah, people make mistakes, but we can always amend mistakes. And I feel like the UFC is on the way to doing that. And I don't like this narrative that they just gave me a new deal to shut me up. I'm like, no. We did not just get given a deal. Like Tim to say is like, they get heated a little bit. I'm just in there just like.
You don't get involved.
Nah, fuck no. It's not my business. That's what they're there for.
Right.
So I just eat my popcorn and watch the chaos.
How do you feel about how the Francis situation has been handled?
Dana said they're having dinner. They had dinner before he went to Cameroon. And I feel that's a good first step. Definitely. I don't know what was said. I haven't talked to Francis yet, but that's their business. And I felt like some of the stuff that was happening before the Francis fight, I was not a fan of. I just felt like certain things should, like I said, this is business, man. You can't get too personal. It's business. And money is always around. There's money everywhere. You can find money everywhere. Yeah. So for the heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC to be getting paid what he was getting paid was atrocious. And I feel like I don't want him to leave the UFC. It'd just be sad. I feel like this is the guy, look at him. And he's one of the three kings. I just don't, maybe I'm being selfish, but I just feel like I don't even want him to box. Well, he wants to box. If he does, he should box. He can figure out something with the UFC on their contract. They let McGregor do it, so they can figure something out. But I just don't want him to box. So I'm like, you're the baddest motherfucker on the planet, I don't want him to just use his hands. I want him to be, if you really want to fight Francis, fight him. Tyson's the kind of guy that might do that. He's crazy, Gypsy King. He might do that, I just feel like this is the top level of fighting. I'm not being biased. I don't care about kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, boxing, whatever style of fighting that you do alone. If it's singular, it's a limited form of fighting. If you want to fight, legally, this is the way to do it. The UFC is the place to do it, where it's like the highest level of fighting.
One thing that I appreciate about what you said after announcing the deal, in the past, I have, mentioned this where it's like someone talks about, and you weren't vocal about it at all. You didn't bring this to the media when it was happening, but they'll talk about like fighter pay.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get their deal, and then that all goes away.
Yeah.
You said last week that like, all right, I got whatever I got. I'm happy with it. But now I hope that other people are going to get things. Do you feel like because you're one of the biggest stars and now one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid champion in the UFC, that it is part of your duty now to help the other guys to at least try to raise awareness that those guys who are, working two jobs shouldn't be doing that anymore? Like, is that part of the gig now, or?
I don't think it's my duty, but I've got teammates who are at that level in the UFC, and I know what some of them have to go through to make ends meet. So I feel like this is like the NBA of fighting, man, the NFL of fighting, like, or not just MMA, or fighting. I really think so. So I feel like we shouldn't have to have, rookies, if you will. In the NBA, the rookies, they get nice checks. They don't have a second job. So why does, Joe Blow have to have a second job or third job, or have to scrounge for pennies for his next camp or whatever? I feel like we should be on a not an even playing field, but we should be able to look after ourselves for the guys who are just starting out, the rookies. And like I said, I don't think it's my duty, but if I see something that I don't think is right, I'll speak out about it. And I'm not, like I said, I love the UFC. I've always wanted to be here, but when something smells fishy and seems like it's not supposed to be that way, yeah, it is what it is. So it's not my duty, but I'll say what I have to say.
What's your take on Jake Paul versus Dana, this back and forth?
They're fighting.
Well, the diss track, the videos,
I haven't heard the diss track yet. But,
you haven't heard the diss track?
No, not yet. No.
Really?
No,
that surprises me.
Yeah.
I feel like you're clued in. I'm
tapped in sometimes.
Your internet is
sometimes, yeah, that guy, he's around. He gets around. Now, but yeah, I like what Jake was doing. He was kind of like poking the bear a bit, and he did spark the conversation. Mm-hmm. He sparked the conversation because it needed to happen. And with Francis as well, the kind of, the cojones on him. He was just like, fuck this, I'm gonna say everything. And he just put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I respect that. And I felt like Jake, he played his part. And I like what he's doing now with promotion. He's, promoted Jake now, so he's doing his own thing. And yeah, respect to him.
You guys still tight?
We're cool. Yeah. I like Jake. I don't talk to him as often as I, like we're buddies or anything. But like, yeah, I like Jake. He's cool. I consider him a good colleague, a good friend.
Are you staying in New Zealand?
What do you mean?
Well, there was a time where it seemed like you guys might be leaving.
We're on standby. We're, because, a new variant might come out, and then before you know it, shut everything down again, and I'm just like, fuck this, we're out. So we're on standby. We want to stay where we're at because we love our team. We don't want to move, because what's the point if just the UFC guys moving? All the other guys, same thing, they can't afford this kind of moves. Everyone has kids, their family and whatnot. And I just didn't like the mistreatment of our athletes compared to other athletes. That's if they were like every other sport, same thing, same treatment, cool. We won't complain. We'll find a way around it. But the fact that the All Blacks we use them as an example because they're the biggest team sport in New Zealand. So I'm like, why are they getting the special treatment that we aren't getting? They let them have their own secluded area they can train at. When we had that for dance camp, nope. And I was like, but we did that for the Costa fight. Nope, we changed the rules. So it's like they're moving the goalpost. And then they gaslight us by the Prime Minister saying, oh, I don't believe so. I don't believe we're giving them any special treatment. Yeah, I do hope they come back. I was like, bro, like now you're like, yeah, it's it. That pissed me off. So I'm just sticking to my guns, and they don't need me. I'm not local, I'm global, so I'm good.
You're never going to fight New Zealand?
Nah, I'm good. That dream's dead, so it's whatever. I'd rather do it in Australia.
Do you feel uncomfortable there because you're so vocal?
No, I'm not uncomfortable. I just speak my truth. No one can use it against me. So I speak how it is. A lot of people don't because they're brought up to head down and just work and be humble. It's the stupidest fucking thing because you're just breeding a lot of simps. And not in the worst way, but just like head down and just you know, I guess I'll do my best. Shucks, G Willikers, you know, but I'm different. I'm the tallest puppy in that bitch.
When can you go home?
Mid-March, but while I'm here, I'm just gonna be grinding, working, making bags here and there.
Bags.
Money.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, like
It's
what?
slang, the young people.
Yeah, no, I know.
I've heard.
P. I heard P is a
Yeah,
thing.
pushing P.
Pushing
I'm
P.
still figuring that one out.
You know all about
actually
this
don't.
stuff. Really?
I'm
You're getting too old for the internet? I don't believe this.
I'm not too old. I would say relax. I'm not too old for the internet, but yeah, pushing P.
I still don't get that one.
Neither.
They say it's positivity.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so right now it seems like I thought Cannonier was going to be next, but you know,
He's got to be next. No, he is.
is he next?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
it's not Strickland.
No, Strickland. I have other plans for him.
What does that mean?
I have other plans for him.
Okay.
That's what that means. So yeah, I said to Cannonier after the weigh-ins in the morning, I was like, please take care of this dude so I can get some fresh meat. And he obliged, and I was like, yeah, I want to fight you. Just respectfully, I just want to fight him because I think he's a good fighter. I've set him up before. He fumbled that bag, so now he's on. So I feel like I'm a man of my word. He's next. Yeah, Strickland, I have other plans I can't really disclose yet.
How do you feel about Strickland as a person?
I don't know him as a person. The first time I didn't know who he was, but I was in the elevator with Tim in Vegas at one of these quarantine hotels we were at, and he popped in. He was talking to Tim, and I was like, hey, man, what's up? And he said, hey, but he had this weird energy about him. And then he kept on talking to Tim, so I was just like, and I didn't say anything. But then later on, I found out who he was, and I was like, and I was like, oh, that's why he was a bit weird. And I was like, oh, makes sense. But yeah, I didn't watch his last fight, but I saw the highlights, and I heard he jabbed up Hermanson. What else? Yeah, I just like that fight later on if he doesn't fumble his bag, but I've got other plans for him.
So Cannonier in June is I
want to. June or July, we'll figure it out.
And how many times do you want to fight this year?
3. I can do 3. If I can
Eugene
do 4,
was hoping for 5, he told me. He said the
we can
goal.
do 5. Yeah, I mean realistically, because, the UFC, there's only so much space. But
Sure.
realistically, I can do 3, push for 4.
Push for 4, all at 185.
Yeah.
You don't regret going up to 205.
No.
I'm just wondering, do you think you would be, people love that 0, right?
Yeah, I'm not attached to it. I've never been attached to it.
Do you think you'd be more famous or get more attention, more love if you had the 0?
Nope. Look at Canelo.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I'm doing well. It's just Corona kind of slowed things down. I mean, for myself, didn't stop my growth, but slowed it down. That's why right now that I can't go back home, I'm just like, world tour.
Right.
Let's go. So I'm just going to rack up the miles and run up the numbers. Yeah.
Are you going to fight at 205 before your career is done?
Yep. I will.
Are you going to fight at heavyweight?
We'll see. But I like that idea. This is what martial arts is about. This is what people kind of forget, the old school. I've done it in kickboxing. I've done it in boxing. And I said I'm going to do it in MMA. I've gone up in weight to light heavyweight. Like I said, it was, he's going to get knocked out, the Polish power, this and that. I did all right. I didn't win. Some people said, it was close. But I'm just like, he still won. I can be objective enough and just say he won. I'm not going to be like Rob and say, I thought I won that fight, even though some people were saying I won that fight. But I'm like, nah, I felt like he won that fight. And yeah, I'll do it before. That's like a side mission. I'll do that again before my career is over.
Is the dream of fighting Jon Jones dead?
Never say never. Yeah, never say never.
It feels like we're pretty far away from it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone up to heavyweight. He's never, when's the last time he fought? I've actually done it. I've actually moved up in weight. He said it since 2003. This is that shit again. You just did it.
What?
It's like, so now I know how this shit works. You have this whole interview, right? And then you get that on YouTube. I know how the pay works on YouTube. December was a good month.
I make no money off the YouTube pay, just for the record.
Okay.
Okay, well, respect.
This, and then, so whoever's running all this shit.
Yeah.
And then they chop out like the little bits, like 3-4 different bits and make 4 clips. And I'm like, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm doing this because I respect you. And
Thank you. I appreciate
the second best MMA journalist, according to Andrew Schultz, who I just talked to.
Yeah, well, we'll get to Andrew in a second.
But then they make money off those clips and then off this main interview. And then on those little clips, it's that clickbait fucking title. And I'm like, that's not what I said. Because I didn't speak about him until you spoke about him.
That's 100% accurate.
Yeah,
I mean, most of the stuff that athletes go through is you're answering questions, unless you're doing it yourself.
Francis will handle him. Fucking Cyril Gans will handle him.
But I hope that doesn't, could I just say, I hope that doesn't turn you off from doing media.
It has.
It has. That bums me out.
Yeah, no, that's why I didn't do much MMA media this fight camp. Because I was like, I know how this works. You guys No, I'm not saying don't take it. You're just
No,
a
I get it.
messenger. So it's like same thing. Just make that little clickbait headline. I'm like, and some people don't even watch. They just read the headlines and just. And I'm like, that's not even what I said. That's out of context. I didn't say it like that. And sometimes it's just like that's that little bit of the clip. I might have addressed it later on.
Right.
But it sells. They don't care about being right.
But you know,
or
I'm not.
being
I hope you know
first.
I'm not sitting here to do that to you. There's just a
hope
whole
not.
bunch of stuff. Well, I mean, I don't make any money off of it.
Okay, good.
I legit don't make a single penny off of if there's a
You
million
get paid
people.
as a salary.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
That's
Easy,
just part of my thing. So
I see.
I don't own the YouTube
Why not?
channel.
You should own like some stake in this company.
Well, you know, we could talk about that
talk to
at
the
a later
people.
date.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you and John, I mean, he tweets about you, tweet back at him.
Oh, no, that was the Valentine's Day thing. That just felt appropriate.
I know,
Felt
but I feel like I'm not doing my job if I don't
Look
ask
at this
you.
one. Have you seen this one? Hold
No.
on. I didn't see. This is the thing. I've got so much clips, man. I don't need the attention. I don't need I'm just like, you know what? This is a good one. I thought this was really funny, and I laughed at it. Maybe
it a
you've already
meme?
seen it. Yeah, it's a meme. I thought it was really funny. Hold on, let me find it. Where is it? Who sent it to me? This. You can look at it and just laugh.
Oh my, okay. Are you posting? Did someone post that?
It's on my Freestyle Bender YouTube channel. Check it out.
Jeez.
Easy. On my latest post-fight interview.
So, I always used to say to you, at some point, you're going to not like doing the media. Remember I used to say that? And you say, I would never. That's not me. That's not
that was
me.
when I was fresh in the game.
Yeah.
Baby-faced, still baby-faced, but I'm just kind of, like I said, I know how this works now. And I was like, I'm not going to let some people, obviously not you now, make money off me and I get nothing in return. And then they purposely like misrepresent me. So I was like, nah, fuck all that. So you want it? Come get it straight from the dog's mouth, the horse's mouth.
So is this going to be a thing now? You're going to do less and less?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
It's
appreciate you
just
being here.
protecting my space, protecting my energy, making sure that I control the narrative.
And you said that before the fight. I saw you say that you have learned how to protect your energy. You have matured as a person.
A lot.
How did you do that?
Reps, making a few mistakes. There's a few mistakes I've made again. Like they repeated themselves, but I'm glad I'm
Like
smart
what?
with the way. I'm gonna tell you.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
who's
like-
listening?
I mean, I don't know. It's a valid question, I
The
think.
nose works again. Yeah, so I'm just making sure I protect my space, protect my energy. And every time I fight, same thing, the stock rises and not blow up. And I have to just make sure watch out for these pitfalls that come with this game. So yeah, this ain't my first rodeo. I've been through this, I've smoked it before. I want to smoke it again.
Is there any part of you that sometimes, I asked Eugene this question with all due respect last week. So it's the same question that I asked him about, did he ever feel like your head was getting too big? Did he ever feel like he had to check you? He said it's only been like twice ever, and it was very minimal.
Because he thought I was something. I was like, bro, you didn't even. Another one of the ones he was talking about. I was like, bro, you didn't even finish reading the thing. He just read the headline, or not the head, same thing. He just read the beginning of something I was writing, and then just made his own mind up, and then got mad at me. I was like, the fuck? And then eventually he realized he messed up and apologized. But nah, if I was gonna change, I would have done that a long time ago.
How do you not let all of this get to you, though?
Reps, and also having the right people around me, like Eugene, my family, my close friends. Yeah, and also just myself. That's the most important one, is myself. I constantly police myself and make sure because I don't always have the best ideas, but when I check, I'm like, is that what I want to do? Is that what I really want to do? Yeah, so I just make sure, and reps. Like I said, it's just reps of just thinking about this, seeing the pitfalls of other people.
Right.
So I've never been on TMZ. Knock on wood.
Right.
I'll never be on TMZ for the wrong reason.
Right. Just a couple more things, and I'll let you go. And I appreciate the time very much. I kind of feel a little bit sad. I feel like this is the last interview we're ever going to do.
No, after every fight, if I'm ever around, I'll
But no more Zoom. That's it. It's over.
this is just stupid. It's just
no connection.
I did hot ones with Anthony Joshua over Zoom.
You did?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
a while ago, and then now I get to do it for real this time. Sometime
Oh, sick.
I can say that I get to do it this week sometime. So I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be fun. I want to
gets
do
you
it in
excited.
person. Yeah, I want to do it in person. I like this. I miss this shit. I miss touring.
Yeah.
It's draining. It's work, and after this, I'm gonna go in my cocoon and just be with my own thoughts for a little bit, have a nap. But yeah, I miss this stuff, being on the ground, doing this, bah, 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 bah. It's fun. It's I'm like a rock star that just goes and does media and stuff like that. And then I travel to this country and do media and, smile and wave, kiss some babies, all that shit.
What's up with Schultz? Why is he such a hater?
Oh, he's not a hater.
I mean,
think you
come
guys
on,
had,
this
like,
guy.
some-
I was.
Actually, he brought a gift for you.
He did?
Hold on. Yeah. Ooh,
Wow.
there you go. He
Does
brought a
it say
gift
number
for
one
you.
journalist?
I hope so.
I don't even know what this says. The
The
should I open it?
heavies. You can open it.
Oh.
The
So
heavies.
are we cool?
Yeah, I think you guys are cool. Have you met him?
No, I never met him.
Oh, he's just like.
He's in Brooklyn, right?
Oh, well, you said it on me.
Oh, was I not supposed to say
maybe.
that?
All right.
I mean, what is it? Parts unknown? Oh,
Something,
that's very
yeah.
nice of him. Thank
Yeah.
you. Oh, what is
it's a
this?
tight-
I mean, what am I supposed to wear? A crop top? What the? Come on, dog. Give me really?
I thought it was a t-shirt.
Come on. I'm supposed to wear a crop top, Andrew Schultz? What the hell?
Heavy. Okay, you know what the heavies is? The heavies is like the heavies.
Okay.
The heavies. So I think
Is this
that's
a
what that
female shirt or?
I'm gonna assume so now. I thought it was just like a real t-shirt.
Well, now, I thought that he was legitimately offering
No, well,
like
I mean, maybe have you tried it
Are you in on it? Whose side are you on?
Fuck
Is
no,
he?
Ariel.
Come
I would
on.
never look in my eyes.
Come.
I would never. I thought it was a t-shirt because he said I've got a gift for him. I was like, okay, bet.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
easy. Because you guys are both, the noses. You guys should touch noses one day.
We should touch noses.
I think so. Even have him sit here. Yeah, have
would
him
love
sit
it.
Here.
I would love
Do
it.
Schultz, get on the MMA hour.
Can I tell you one thing that really bothered me though?
Really?
Thank you. Yeah, no, legit bothered me.
About Schultz.
No. No, I've moved on from Schultz.
Okay.
You call this brotherhood with Francis and Kamaru, right?
Yep.
This actually legit bothered me.
Yeah.
Legit, because I know Francis, I know you. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to talk to Kamaru anymore.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, because
Yeah, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed.
yo.
Which is kind of whack if I'm being honest. I mean,
course.
Kamaru's his own person. He should.
Yeah.
Kayla, though, Kayla says F that and comes on. She's, to me, all-time great. Anyway, you guys have something special. You come from a country that doesn't produce a lot of people who do what you do.
Yeah.
To try and put a wedge through that, to me, is actually gross. Like,
think
legit
so.
gross.
Yeah.
Like, it actually bothered me. I'm not just saying this because of my issues with Ali as a
It bothered
person.
Eugene as well, and it bothered me. I'm like, what the fuck is this peanut head talking about? Because I've gone on record saying I don't want this fight.
You guys have been
going on
very
record.
explicit about
We
this.
don't want this fight because it's bigger than us. I understand where it's coming from. Don't get me wrong. I understand where he's coming from, but you can make.
Why even put
tens
that
of
out there?
millions Other ways. There's so many other fights you can make, but he said he's being selfish. I'm like, fair enough. And also, he just needs to give his fighters his phone back, like Kamaru said, because sometimes he gets on there and starts to talk all this rubbish. But I don't know if someone said something about Kamaru saying if they put $100 million on the table, then we're gonna have to talk. And I'm like, yeah, because it's not. I understand what Kamaru says about competing. I want to compete against this guy, and I understand that there's no ill will, no blood. But it's not. This fight's not just gonna happen just because. Oh, it needs to happen. We need to see it. I'm like, nah, it's bigger than us. Like you said, the great nation of Africa. We've got 3 people who are champions right now and defending and ruling the divisions with iron black fist. This
It's a
is
beautiful
legendary.
thing.
This
Yeah.
is fucking they're gonna talk about this in history, not sports history. They're gonna talk about this in sports history and just history in general. So why try and, like you said, we could divide and conquer. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I hope he's not. I know he's not. Kamaru's his own person. Kamaru tells him when to fuck off too.
Did you tell him, yo, man, what was up with that?
Nah, I haven't talked to them yet, but I talked to Kamaru today. Actually, he's chilling in Jamaica, Montego Bay. So
Respect.
enjoys holiday. But yeah, when I see Ali, he's gonna be cordial. He's gonna be nice. There's no static. He's just doing his job. But that Eugene knows how we feel about that when it comes to fighters. Like 2 of my teammates, Mark, what's his name? Cameron Chabo, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank right now. It's been a long day. Mark Timms and Cameron Newton. No, Ralston, sorry. Fucking hell. I'm drawing a blank because it's been a long day.
It's good they're here. It's good they're here.
Cam Ralston, they fought in King in the Ring, right? We call him Chabo. It's an inside joke. Hey, Chabo. But they fought in King in the Ring, right? King in the Ring. And they were in the same tournament. So they could have fought each other. Because of COVID as well, this whole event has been pushed back. They've had like a year-long training camp for this fight, for this tournament. And they could have had the possibility of fighting each other, most likely in the final. And they helped each other train. They held pads for each other. They helped each other for their workouts and stuff like that. There's a time and place for that to happen, and there needs to be a magnitude of something that's on the line. And we do it without any, when that happens, none of us is in the corner. The only person who's in the corner is just there to give water, and that's it. No do this and do that and da-da-da-da. Just figure it out, like you do in the gym when you spar each other, But the way, Peanut Head did it was just disgusting. And Eugene kind of expressed that, how we do it in our gym, and the code that we have. And like I said, me and Kamaru definitely feel the same way. What's the point? This is bigger than us. Kids are gonna look at us, you know, generations from now and be like, those guys from Nigeria, they did that. You know, they ruled this whole thing to their left, and they left on top. Same with Francis as well. So yeah, I don't know why he always comes up to me with, oh, my brother, my African brother, this and that. So I'm like, why, if you're supposed to be a brother, why are you trying to be selfish now and look at the dollar sign? So yeah, I've talked too much about that now.
Forget that fight. Forget John Jones. Forget everything. The fight that I want to see you involved in before it's all said and done on the marquee. We're talking 4.6.
There we go.
You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
You know which ones?
No.
Israel Adesanya, by the way. What about my daughter Claire?
She said it better than you. It's
She did.
Adesanya. Don't put that.
Oh, sorry.
It's Adesanya.
Adesanya.
Yeah.
I you know why I do the too much? Because
Trying to emphasize it.
well, it's because my previous employer told me not to, and so I still
you're
have.
trying to let him know.
I'm trying to
let it go. Let it go.
Okay, let it go.
Okay. Adesanya.
So, Adesanya. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Israel Adesanya
Yeah.
versus Darren Till.
Yeah.
That's
I've
the one.
set him up, man. I've set him up.
Come on, Darren. You've tried to alley-oop him.
Yeah, and he's fumbled the bag a few times. And even though I hit him up, you know, after the Brunson fight, because I know how that feels, you know. I just didn't see him post for a while, and he's okay. I'm sure he's doing well. I'm sure he's got his people around him. But yeah,
That's nice. You shot him a note.
Yeah. I just make sure he's
Keep your head up because he did disappear for a while.
Yeah, so I haven't seen this guy for a while, and yeah, I like seeing him fuck around on Instagram and shit.
Yeah.
But I hope he does well. I want to see that in the O2. I want to see that in the O2 before it's all said and done. I want to do the O2.
Will you ever fight Hamza, you think?
Hamza, I mean, he's not really relevant right now. I don't have to take him seriously till I have to take him seriously. Like his last fight, I was impressed with. I was like, yo, that guy's good. But, there's levels. So we'll see how he does with Gilbert. And he's only fought like one middleweight fight that I've seen, and I'm just like, who has he fought? And he can beat a lot of middleweights, I'll tell you that much. A lot of top-level middleweights, but I don't have to take him seriously till I have to take him seriously. And I feel like it's going to be the same thing with this, kind of like how what's his name, Costa, that got set up with like, oh, this is, and I'll be like, right, now I have to take him seriously.
Biggest misconception about you?
That I'm an extrovert all the time. I don't know why. Probably because of this, because
Right.
you brought me on this show to do what? To talk.
Right.
So I can talk. When it's time to talk, I'll rap that shit. But my people know when this is all said and done. On the way here, I was in the shuttle, just out, not sleeping, but just like resetting, recharging. And then when I'm done with this, I'm gonna go recharge and just be away from everyone. So I like my alone time because I'm a cuss baby. So I like my alone time. But when it's time to shine and be the elephant in the room, I can trumpet really loud.
Last thing. So you just had this big deal.
Yeah.
5-time champ now. Let's put some respect, all right?
Fuck
None
yeah.
of this
It
4
makes
times.
sense, right?
Yeah, no, I understand.
I'm in the interim. I still have that exact same belt. So why is it that if it counts as a defense for him, if he
No, I
beat
get
me,
it. You actually laid it out quite nicely.
it's smart. So I'm
Yeah.
like, and they're like, oh, that's not how it works. I'm like, change it. I don't give a fuck. Change it. What? That's not how it works.
You could say that.
Yeah, fucking change it. Don't be an idiot. Change it. Well, I've changed it. That's how it is now. So I'm a 5-time defending UFC fucking champion.
Why not? Signed the big deal. Second biggest, maybe, I don't know, it's
I'm doing all right.
how many fights? A lot of fights.
Few.
We won't talk about
It's not, that never really is a factor.
it doesn't matter, right? Because, I mean, literally, they can cut you after one, which they won't, or they could re-up you after one. You know what I mean? So
It's never really a factor.
Exactly.
In the fights.
the guy back in the day who was in China, the kid back in the day who moved from Africa to New Zealand, have you officially exceeded your expectations, or did you really believe all this would happen?
I did, and there's a few things I've exceeded, but there's a lot of things that's just like, oh, tick. I'm just ticking boxes, bro. Like, and it feels good whenever that happens. Like little things, little moments. I'm just like, I remember when I thought about this. Boom, achievement unlocked. So I have exceeded a lot of expectations, but then now I have new expectations. So,
Really?
Yeah, a lot of new.
Could you share like the biggest one right now that's on your mind?
Nope.
That keeps. Okay, but is there one?
Yeah.
There is one. There's a big expectation on your mind that.
Yeah. Before it's all said and done, I'm gonna get this done.
Are we close to it? No, just this fascinates me.
Yeah.
People who believe things that to the normal person is unattainable and then achieves them, to me is a fascinating thing. It's inspiring.
What excites me. That's what excites me. Things, if your dreams aren't big enough and they don't scare you, or your goals aren't big enough and they don't scare you, what's the point? So when it's all said and done with this game as well, I already said I need to do something that's gonna like almost like make me feel like I'm gonna die every few months because I can't just turn this thing off. So every few months I'll find something. I don't know, maybe snowboarding, shock diving or whatever, something that just gives me that adrenaline rush. Yeah, I'm gonna do that every few months just to like tame the side of me down because you can't turn this off.
And I'm assuming you have, I mean, at least 10 more years left, right?
Yeah, 10, give or take, maybe 15, who knows?
15, golly.
Jokes.
No, I feel like we have legit 10, no?
Oh, no, I'm in the stride of my prime right now. Like I said, I'm learning. I'm in a stage where I'm really just like soaking everything up. And I feel like the younger Izzy, the way I've just been soaking things up, and I've used this reference of J. Cole, you know, applying pressure before the end. I know I'm definitely over the halfway point of my career. When the end is, for sure, I don't know. And like I said, if it was about money, I would have retired like 3 fights ago, you know, but it's not just about money. I'm making good money, but it's not just about money for me. It's bigger than that. Like, I'm going to be immortal by the time this is done in history books. Like, and I've accepted that this lockdown actually, because I used to say like, oh, when this is all said and done, I'm just going to disappear and run for fame. But I've kind of accepted the fact that it's just part of my life now. I'm just going to be like, you see how Mike Tyson walks around, he's still just Mike Tyson. I'm still in the stride of my prime. I'm still doing this damn thing. So, but when it's all said and done, yeah, I'm gonna be the one.
A lot of respect for you, Izzy.
Appreciate
Thank you for coming in.
Easy as.
You know, I know you got a lot.
Again?
Yeah, I know. Well, this could be it. So I want to thank you for all the great interviews over the years.
I appreciate
that. And all the love.
I'll be back. Might not be as frequently, but I'll be back.
Yeah, no, and you know what? There's something to that as well. It makes them special.
Exactly. It's not just like, you get them, because people don't appreciate it. When I was doing interviews all the time, at some points, Eugene was getting me to do something. I was like, who's this guy? I was like, what? It's just some kid in a room or just something. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do it just because I want to give them the time of day and respect their journalistic
I get it.
craft. But then it came to a point I'm like, I got to look after me. I can't just be out here just being a whore.
I get it. And I know you don't have to come here, so I appreciate it.
That's all good, man. I want to.
If you want the heavies, you and your...
The heavies?
No.
I'm good, man.
Okay, thanks.
Easy.
Well, you were talking about the, so it felt like apropos. All the best. Congrats on the win. Congrats on the new deal.
Wow.
And I look forward to June, July when you are back, my friend.
I will be. Easy as.
Enjoy the rest. They're going to walk you out.
Oh, yeah?
There's Joe. Yeah, that's how we do.
Like
we don't take breaks. No, we don't take breaks here.
Please.
I stand up out of respect.
Thank you. As always, easy as. No worries.
And appreciate you. Don't forget that. I mean, come on. For me, woo.
I get you the sheepskin.
Look at you. Looking good. You're looking like Walt Clyde Frazier. You know Walt Clyde Frazier?
If I Google him, I'll know his face.
Man, look up Walt Frazier in 1970s New York Knicks, the point guard. No one dressed better than Clyde. Why'd they call him Clyde?
Why?
Bonnie and Clyde. Back in the day, he dressed like a gangster.
No way.
You know, so this is what you're
There's
looking
a picture Mike Angle showed me of Ray Sefo, because he's like, I've seen this before. And he showed me a picture of Ray Sefo, and I was like, I know what you're talking about. But
Respect.
Wow.
Respect.
Peace.
There he is, the champ. Thank you so much, Izzy. All the best to you.
Hello, my man.
The last style bender, Israel Adesanya. Don't do it too hard. Don't do it too, forceful. Just Adesanya. There he is. Respect to Izzy for stopping by. That was great. Let me put my headphones back on. One of the yeah, no problem. What's wrong with my headphones? Okay. Now you're scaring me, Frank. Am I live?
Yeah.
Okay, what's wrong? Tell me.
There's just some crackling in your headphones,
Okay, but is the mic okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. In any event, let me put this here. I'm not sure what to make of this. Andrew Schultz, if you're out there, you could come on anytime. Thank you for the sweatshirt. Is this like heavy D? What, do you guys know what this is supposed to mean? Not that. Am I supposed to be offended by this, or am I supposed to take... Joe, do you know what this means? No, Joe doesn't know. Frank?
No clue.
Okay, maybe Connor knows. Well, that was fun. Thank you to Izzy. Thank you to Tim for stopping by. I had a blast. There's nothing quite like those in-studio interviews, and I enjoyed having both of them in studio, picking their brains, doing their thing. Like you have someone, he's right. You do an interview on Zoom, Skype, whatever. It's different. There's a different vibe. There's a different connection. And that was great. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.